everyone. Welcome to my podcast. This is Football Barbie, and we talk about anything and everything football. So, I wanted to talk to you about the AFC East and who's going to win, who's going to have the number one divisional win for the whole entire season. And I'd be really curious to know what does everybody possibly think about who is going to be the winner. Now, to me, after looking at everyone's schedule, I almost kind of surprised myself, but in a sense, I feel like I'm slightly biased with it because if you listen to any of my podcasts, then you would already know what team I like. I do find it interesting, and I think a lot of it does depend on who's going to remain healthy and who's not going to remain healthy. So basically, this is the AFC East, which means this is the Jets, Buffalo Bills, the Patriots, and the Miami Dolphins. So these four. Now, I am in the NFC East being the Eagles, so it is interesting. We do play this division. Our entire division does play their division this year, and I definitely want to take a look at it to see how everything is going to do. So, to get started, number one on my list is Miami. So, according to DraftKings, I took DraftKings and I tried to figure out what they were going to say and what they were going to do, who their predictions are, and what is the over-under. So, the over-under in Miami is 9.5 wins. Now, surprisingly enough, let's go through their schedule real quickly and let's see kind of who they're playing and everything. So they did re-sign running back Raheem Mostert, and they also re-signed running back Jeff Wilson Jr. So they have those two running backs. Now they all have, as well, my favorite, Tyreek Hill. And I think he's just a beast. Listen, I have nothing against him. I don't want the man or anything crazy like that. I just love people with extreme talent. And I think Tyreek Hill not only can catch the ball, I think he's extremely fast. I think he did extremely well in Kansas City. And then he goes to Miami, and he crushes it in Miami. And with Tua, we all know that Tua does need to remain healthy, but with Tua being healthy, it was able to allow him to show his talents more. Now, when he was on Kansas City Chiefs, you had Travis Kelce. So when you have Travis Kelce and you have Tyreek Hill, it's kind of like you just both know that they're both going to get the ball and everything. You know that they're both really good players. And that's when I first obviously noticed Tyreek Hill. I thought he was a really good player on Kansas City Chiefs. And then I think he's still a really good player on Miami. It does obviously matter what team somebody goes on, but you never know. Thank you, Alex, for your comment. Appreciate that. But anyway, so their first game for the season is they are at the Chargers. Now, with the Chargers, I don't necessarily know what I think about Justin Herbert. I think he's a great quarterback. I'm sorry, let me put that way. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think Justin Herbert is great by any means. I think that the Chargers have issues in their team, by far. So I don't think that the Chargers are going to be able to beat the Dolphins. I think as long as Tua remains healthy, this team will do well. If Mostert and Wilson Jr. can do good as their running backs, and then you have Waddle and Hill who can run super fast, let's see what happens with Miami this year. So I think number one, win against the Chargers. Their season opener at Chargers. 2, then they're on the road again, still going to the Patriots, who are in the division. And I think they're going to possibly lose against the Patriots. I think when divisional teams match up, a lot of times I feel like it becomes a 1-and-1 situation. One person is going to win the one time and the other person is going to win the second time. I think it's very hard for a team who's in divisionally to be able to crush both of the divisional games against somebody. So Eagles playing the Commanders, I think we're going to win one. I think we're going to lose the other one. Possibly. I couldn't believe, honestly, as an Eagles fan, that the stupid, I'm sorry if you're a Commanders fan, but I was really, really, really upset. I had a piss poor attitude this day that of all the games that the Eagles would lose as their first loss for the season last year for 2022 was against the Commanders. Where were we? Does anybody know? Because I thought we were in the outfield playing baseball because we sure as heck were not playing football. So yeah, anyway. Next, I think the Broncos. Now, the most important question with the Broncos is Sean Payton. Sean Payton. He is going to be, I feel like, the deciding factor of, are the Denver Broncos going to win this year? Or are they going to lose? Can Sean Payton take the looking like he was blind Russell Wilson and make him the quarterback that everybody knew from Seattle? Or is he going to lose his mind and be like, why did I come to this team in the first place? He definitely, like I've said, if you watch my Dalvin Cook video, Sean Payton takes these players and they make them great players. So I'll be really curious to see what happens with Russell Wilson. I think that Miami is going to win against the Broncos. I don't think that, sometimes when it's earlier in the season, the team might not catch their footing yet. So I think that Sean Payton's not going to be able to get that much control over Russell Wilson yet. I think that Miami Dolphins are going to win against the Broncos. Fourth game of the season, Miami goes to Buffalo Bills. I think they're going to lose. Now, Josh Allen is by far a great quarterback. I don't think I would say he's Tom Brady status, but I think that's going to be the next form of figuring out if your quarterback level. Are you at Patrick Mahomes status? Are you, Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady? I really do think that Patrick Mahomes is the next Tom Brady. He's this generation's Tom Brady. Tom Brady dominated. It's going to be very hard for anybody to kind of go back to that. That's obviously, we know that Tom Brady did take lower salary in order for New England to have a better team. Bill Belichick, obviously, we know is a phenomenal coach. So let's go with that. But I do think that Miami is going to lose the first game at Buffalo. So next, we have the Giants. Now, I think that it's going to be possibly a little close, but I do think that Miami is going to be able to pull off the win against the Giants. The Giants do have Daniel Jones. I think he's getting better as a quarterback. We do not know yet if Saquon Barkley, because I think his contract is up in July. I did a little short on that. We don't know yet if Saquon Barkley is going to sign. At the end of the day, it does really matter about what's going on. So I think that Miami Dolphins will win against the Giants. That's a home game. The next game is the Panthers. So the Panthers signed Bryce Young in the round 1, which obviously a lot of people know that we're going to do for the draft. But the problem is nobody knows how good he's going to be. He obviously, you have this rookie quarterback. The Carolina Panthers banked everything, traded up to get this number 1 quarterback. We all know that Chicago had the number 1 pick because they were the worst team in the division last year. And all of a sudden, we now get the Carolina Panthers getting Bryce Young. What's he going to be like? Can he play in the NFL? We don't know. Is he going to be a bust? What's going to happen? So I think that Miami's going to win this. I think Carolina is definitely going to be better than they were last year. But I don't know yet how Bryce Young's going to be, and that's kind of a hard one to do. Next, we do have the Eagles. So Miami is at the Eagles. I wish I could go to that game. Actually, I really wish the Eagles were going to Miami because then I by far would want to go to that game. But I think it's at every other time that they do that. So at Eagles, I think they're going to lose. I think that Jalen Hurts and everybody on the team is going to pull out their stops. Obviously, I love A.J. Brown on our team. I think he's one of the major reasons that we were able to go to the Super Bowl last year. We were stacked with some good people, and I feel like we did get lucky. I think that the Eagles do have amazing grit and are able to push as a team who is able to excel very well. So I think that Miami does lose that. As for going to the Patriots, so next game, Patriots come to Miami. The Patriots were 8-9 last year with Mac Jones. We don't really know what to kind of expect. Mac Jones just seems like he's a placeholder. He's definitely no Tom Brady. Obviously, he's still younger in the league, and Tom Brady was with the Patriots for 20 years. So, you know what I mean? I think that Miami is going to win against the Patriots. Patriots being in Miami, I think that home game is going to Miami. Now, at Chiefs, I think this is going to be a phenomenal game to watch. Tyreek Hill returns to the Chiefs. Now, he is playing the Chiefs. I think it's going to be a great game. I obviously think they choose this stuff sometimes on purpose because you just know people are going to tune in. Who's going to win the game? I do think that Miami could try to win it. I think that Miami is going to really want to win it more against the Chiefs. But like I said, the question is, I think it really, honestly, the game could go either way. But I think that they definitely do have a chance to win as long as everyone is healthy and there's no injuries. Tua and his concussion issue, I honestly know he's doing this jiu-jitsu and help is falling, but with the concussion issue, we'll see what happens. Okay, so then they have a bye, which that helps, which unfortunately, too bad they didn't have the bye before they played Chiefs to, help rest and recover. Then they go to the Raiders. With Jimmy Garoppolo, who knows? We don't know how Jimmy Garoppolo is going to do with the Raiders. The Raiders have Davante Adams that they obviously got from Green Bay, and I do think that they're going to win against the Raiders. Now, I'd be really curious to see what happens if Tom Brady does become the minority owner. Like, I have a short about that one too. But we're waiting to see based on NFL approval. Mark Davis does say that he wants Tom Brady to be the minority owner. We just really don't know. Then you have the Jets. So I think Miami is going to win at least the first game against the Jets. Now, Aaron Rodgers, I think, is still going to have to catch his footing in the earlier part of the season. So who knows? Really not sure what's exactly going to happen there. But I think that Miami is going to probably win, even if by a few points against the Jets, at least in the first game. Then you go to the Commanders. I think they're going to win against the Commanders. I personally don't think that the Commanders are a great team. I think they're in the middle team. I don't think they suck. I don't think, unfortunately, I'm sorry if you're an Arizona fan, I don't think they're like Arizona. But I think that Miami is going to beat the Commanders. Apparently, their quarterback is Sam Howell. That's who they have as their quarterback. I don't know. But you know what? We'll see how they play. But I think Miami is going to be able to maintain that one. Next, they go to the Titans. You got quarterback Ryan Tannehill. He's somebody also I think is kind of in the mid-pack. You have mid-pack Ryan Tannehill. Not the worst, not the greatest. I think that Miami will get the win over the Titans. Then Jets. I think towards the end of the season, I think that Aaron Rodgers is really going to have his footing. I think that he's going to learn how to play with all of his players. I know he's going to want to show and prove that this is why he was traded from the Packers to the Jets. So I think by the end of the season, Aaron Rodgers is going to really start crushing it. I think in the beginning of the season, we're going to kind of see him like, nah. But I think towards the end of the season, we're going to see pretty good. So then you have the Cowboys. So I think that Miami could win this, but I think it's going to be a toss-up. I think it's really going to go either way, and this is definitely a game that I probably would not bet on. I think if Dak is good and Dak is on a roll, that it's going to be literally a scoring game for a scorer, or it's going to be defense versus defense shutout. It's either going to be a super low-scoring game or it's going to be a very high-scoring game. So I do think that Miami does have a chance to win this game, but I think it's going to go either way. So at Ravens is the next game, and I think that they might lose to Lamar Jackson. I don't know if the Dolphins are going to be able to hold this up the entire time. I do think that with Lamar Jackson obviously remains healthy. He did get hurt at the beginning of December last year. So at this point, he would have been hurt if that was the case. I do think that Miami could possibly lose to Lamar Jackson. Then you have Buffalo Bills. Now, this will be the last game of the season. I have a feeling that Buffalo is going to do really well, and they might sit out maybe some of their starters. So I think that Miami has a chance to win the last game of the season against Buffalo just for that reason alone. So at the end of the day, I think that Miami could possibly have 12 wins. Now, I am not an expert or I'd be extremely rich, so who knows? But I think Miami has a chance to have 12 wins. Next, let's go Buffalo. So according to DraftKings, which I absolutely love DraftKings, unfortunately we can't use DraftKings in Nevada, Buffalo's over and under is 10.5 wins. So I think that Buffalo will go over the 10.5. But let's see, according to their schedule. So their first game of the season is at Jets. I think it's going to be a great game. Like I said, I don't think Rodgers is going to be able to catch his footing yet. So I think that Buffalo is going to have a win. The next team is the Raiders. Like I said, Jimmy Garoppolo, not really sure what's going to happen with him. We don't really know how the team's going to mesh. We just don't know what's going to happen. I think they're going to win against the Raiders. At the Commanders, like I said, don't think the Commanders are the best team. I think Buffalo is definitely one of the better teams by far within the NFL league. I think they're going to win its Commanders. I think they're going to win the first game then at Dolphins. And then you have the Jaguars. That's the next home game. I think they're going to win against Trevor Lawrence. I don't think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to outbeat Josh Allen unless he's having a really bad day. Don't think that Josh Allen is going to be outbeaten by Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is really starting to become a better quarterback, but I really don't think that he's going to be able to beat them. Next is Giants. Now, I have a feeling that the Giants could win by a little bit. Now, obviously, don't hold me to this. It just depends. Like I said, the Eagles lost against the Commanders. That was their first loss. You never know in football, which is why I absolutely love the sport. I think that the Giants might possibly beat them. Even if it's by 1 point, I think the Giants really might beat them. So then they go to the Patriots. The Buffalo Bills are at the Patriots. I think they win. I think Belichick, like I said, obviously he's a great coach. But Mac Jones, I think that Josh Allen by far is better than Mac Jones. I think Stephon Diggs' situation has been settled too. So if Buffalo does have Stephon Diggs, that's obviously one of their best players. I think that'll be good. Okay, and then we have the Bucs. So the Bucs are not the Bucs without Tom Brady. Now, the Bucs aren't that great before Tom Brady. Tom Brady comes in. They become a Super Bowl winning team. Happy for them. That just shows you Tom's talent. And I really did love Leonard Fournette. I thought he was a great player, minus when they played the Eagles. I was not very happy. I really wanted somebody to take out Leonard Fournette's ankles because I just was tired. When you go to a game and all you hear in a loudspeaker is Fournette with the ball, Fournette with the carry, I'm irritated. I'm super irritated. You're freaking out. Like you just don't want Fournette to have the damn ball anymore. I don't think that the Tampa Bay now, who's possibly going to have Baker Mayfield as their quarterback, I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's a horrible quarterback by any means. I just think the Buffalo Bills is going to beat the Bucs. Then Buffalo goes to the Bengals. I think that Joe Burrow might give Josh Allen a run for his money, and I think that Buffalo could possibly lose this game against the Bengals. So that'll be interesting to tell. Then the Broncos are there at home at the Buffalo. I think the Buffalo is going to win against the Broncos. Like I said, nobody's really sure how Sean Payton's going to be able to do with Russell Wilson. I think that's really the true factor. I want to be able to say, I give it up to Sean Payton, and I think he's going to definitely have the Broncos be a much better team this year than they were last year by far. Maybe next year, I have a feeling the Broncos are going to be a way better team, but I think this year they're still just going to have to work at all the kinks, and I think that Buffalo is by far going to take the win against the Broncos. Next, you have the Jets. I think they're going to lose. Like I said, I think that once the middle part to the end part of the season comes through, I think that Buffalo is going to have some issues. I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to take the team and do what Aaron Rodgers does when Aaron Rodgers is best. I think he's going to be able to win then against Buffalo. Next, go to the Eagles. I really want to say that the Eagles, I think, are going to beat the Buffalo Bills. You know what I mean? I think if the Eagles do remain healthy as well, I think that we picked up some good players and the, off-season, along with the draft. I think we're one of the best teams of the draft. I think that our new players are going to be great, and I think we're going to do very well. So I think that the Buffalo will lose against the Eagles. Then the Buffalo has a bye. Then they go to the Chiefs. I think they're going to lose against Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be really hard to beat. I'm sure he got his bum ankle fixed, that he hurt his ankle. I'm sure that was no problem to be fixed throughout this offseason, that he hurt in the playoffs. Thank God, but he still won the Super Bowl. So if he can win a Super Bowl with a bum ankle, Lord, when this man's healthy, everybody watches out. I think when they lose games for the Kansas City, it's almost like a fluke, or they just really had a run for their money. So I by far think that Patrick Mahomes is going to beat Buffalo. Then you have the Cowboys. I think they're going to win against the Cowboys. I think Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. But I think Buffalo Bills is going to snag this one, and they're going to win against the Cowboys. Then they're going to get the Chargers. Like I said, Chargers got Justin Herbert. I think the Chargers do have too many issues. I think they still need some better players. They do have better players, but I just feel like they don't mesh very well. So I feel like they're going to win against the Chargers. Then the Patriots, they go back. The Patriots come home to Buffalo. I think they're going to win against Mac Jones again. And then the Dolphins. Like I said, I think that Buffalo towards the end of the season is going to be like, hey, you know what? We got enough wins. I think they're going to be like really gunning for that. I think that there's obviously you're probably going to make the playoffs. They might take the wild card spots for the AFC if they don't take everything else. And I just think that they're going to lose against the Dolphins in the last week of the season. Next, we have the Patriots. So the Patriots, so I said that Buffalo, I think, is going to have 11 wins. So far, I think Miami could possibly have 12, and I think Buffalo is going to have 11. I really do think it's going to be interesting, and it just depends, like I said, if everybody can remain healthy. So then you have the Patriots with 7.5 wins, according to DraftKings. So the over-under, 7.5. So their first game, Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to win their first game. I think the Eagles are going to win the season opener. They go to the Patriots, and I think they're going to win. Okay. Next game, the Patriots host the Dolphins. I think that they might win against the Dolphins. Like I said, sometimes for divisional teams, I think it's 1-1. I think they're going to take this one for the Patriots. Then the Patriots go to the Jets. I think they're going to lose. I think that Aaron Rodgers, on paper and in all sense, is probably better than Mr. Mac Jones. And I think that if Aaron Rodgers can beat the Patriots here, I think they're going to be pretty good. Then the Patriots go to the Cowboys. I think they're going to lose. I think the Cowboys are going to kick their butt. Even if it's by a touchdown, I think that the Cowboys are going to win against the Patriots. Then the Patriots go to the Saints. The Saints are with Derek Carr. We don't know yet if Alvin Kamara is going to play this year. So the Saints definitely have some weapons. Sean Payton's no longer there. They might not have Alvin Kamara if Alvin Kamara's court date on July 31st doesn't go very well. And we don't really know how Derek Carr is going to play with them. So I think the Patriots are going to win against the Saints. Then we go to the Patriots go to the Raiders, and I think they're going to win. Like I said, there's Jimmy Garoppolo and the Saints. Raiders. I think that the Patriots have a good chance to beat the Raiders. I think the Raiders are maybe a bit same, like the Broncos. They're going to be a better team this year, but maybe they'll be even better team the following year. So we'll see. Then the Patriots go to the Bills, or host the Bills. I think they're going to lose. I think Buffalo is going to crush the Patriots both times. I don't know if they're going to be able to beat the Buffalo at all. If Buffalo remains strong and stays on fire, Patriots definitely ain't going to win that one. Then the Patriots go to the Dolphins. I think they could win. Like I said, I think the Dolphins are going to win one, and I think the Patriots are going to win one. So I think the Patriots do have a chance to win the second time they play the Dolphins. Then they host the Commanders. I think they're going to win the one. I'm not really sure how I feel about the Commanders. I think the Commanders personally are going to probably have like 6 or 7 wins. They're obviously switching over like general managers and everything like that. Like they just got a lot going on. I don't really know how that's going to affect their team. They have this quarterback that hasn't really like played too much. So who knows? But I think they're going to win. Then they host the Colts. I think they're going to beat the Colts. The Colts have their new rookie, Anthony Richardson from Florida. Now, who knows how he's going to play with the Colts. The Colts need that new name, new face type of person for their quarterback. Don't really know. Then they have a bye. Then they go to the Giants. And then they're going to lose against Giants. So I think that the Patriots are going to lose against Giants. I don't think the Giants are going to be the best team in the entire NFC East this year. I think it's going to be possibly a situation last year. I do think the NFC East will be between the Cowboys and the Eagles again. But I think the Giants will possibly take that third role if by 1 win or even tied half a win type of situation. So I think that Patriots will lose to the Giants this year. Then the Patriots will host the Chargers. I think they'll lose against the Chargers. Like I said, I think Justin Herbert is I think Justin Herbert is a good quarterback. Maybe he can be a great quarterback. I don't think he's been able to exercise all his full right in order to be a great quarterback. I think that they're going to do that. So I think that they will lose against the Chargers. And for some reason, the Chargers team is just going to pull out a win against the Patriots. Okay, then the Patriots go to the Steelers. I think they're going to win against the Steelers. We'll see what happens to the Steelers this year. The Steelers are definitely, I feel like, in the middle of the pack too. They're not great. They're not horrible. Listen, my favorite player back on the Steelers was Troy Polamalu. That man was fantastic. I had a fantasy team 13 years ago, and I literally chose the Steelers defense because of Troy Polamalu. I thought he was great. Obviously, like long hair, Head and Shoulders commercial. Anybody else remember that? I love the Troy Polamalu. He crushed it. Apparently, my grandmother's a Steelers fan. I have family Steelers fan. I'm an Eagles fan. They're on the other side of the state, and they're a Steelers fan. So I think that the Steelers will lose against the Patriots. The Patriots host the Chiefs, like I said. Chiefs crushing it. I don't think many teams are going to be able to stop. Hopefully the Eagles do. Hopefully that rematch of the Super Bowl this year that I plan on being at. I hope the Eagles beat the Chiefs, but I don't know how many teams are going to be able to beat the Chiefs this year. I think that they're going to have like a good 13 wins this year. I watch. Just watch. I'm pretty sure the Chiefs are going to steal and be that number 1 seed again in the AFC. So I think they're losing against the Chiefs. Then the Patriots go to the Broncos. I think they're going to lose. I think at this point, if Sean Payton is able to get any foot of sense of anything of Denver, I think that the Broncos at this point are going to have their together and they're going to win against the Patriots. That the Patriots will lose at the Broncos. Then the Patriots go to the Bills. Bills, I still think are going to be on fire. Even if they start taking out people, I still think that their people are going to be able to beat the Patriots by far. Then they host the Jets, and I think they'll lose. I think that Aaron Rodgers, by the end of the season, is going to be a really good quarterback for the Jets, and I think that next year, once Aaron Rodgers is truly able to get everything together, he's going to be even better. So that has, for me, I have 7 wins for the Patriots, so if it's 7.5 is over-under, I'm going to take the under. And last but not least, you have the New York Jets. And like I said, Aaron Rodgers with the New York Jets. Now, we knew that the Jets needed to make some kind of move. I think it was like since 2015 have the Jets maybe made the playoffs, but it's really since I think like 2010 have the Jets even been good. So the Jets over and under is 9.5. So let's start and let's see their schedule. Buffalo Bills, first week, the Bills come to them. I think they're losing this one. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has everything together right. The whole team, like I said, they got good players, but I think they're going to lose. Then the Jets go to the Cowboys. I think they're going to win against the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are a good team, but I have watched Rodgers for Green Bay play the Dallas Cowboys before, and Aaron Rodgers pretty sure won that game. Now, that game, though, was an extremely exciting game. It was back and forth, like the last minute, and this was, I want to say when Tony Romo was the quarterback. So this was a little bit a while ago. So good. Like, I think this game is going to have you on your edge of your seat, and you're not sure which way it's going to go, but I have a feeling it's going to lean towards the Jets. So Jets, we're going to win this one. Patriots come next. Like I said, not Joe. I don't know. I think it's going to be divisionally where it's either other. Definitely think the Patriots are going to lose this one against the Jets. Then the Jets go to the Chiefs. Like I said, I'm really curious. The video should be who's going to stop the Chiefs? Hopefully the Eagles, but is anybody else going to stop the Chiefs before the Eagles play on November 20th? Because I'm going to be there. It's a Monday before Thanksgiving. I can't believe that, but I'm telling you right now, I will be there. I'm making sure of it right now. So the Chiefs, I think they're losing against the Chiefs. No way. So then the Jets go to the Broncos. I think they're going to lose against the Broncos. I don't really think that they're going to do as well. I think that's going to be a game where it could go either way. But if Sean Payton clicks those wheels for Russell and opens his eyes, I think we're good. Okay. Then the Jets go host Eagles. I think the Eagles are winning. Even if it's like I said by a touchdown or two, I think the Eagles win that. Then the Jets have a bye, and then they go to the Giants. I think that they're going to lose against the Giants in this one too. I think the NFC East, at least for the Cowboys and the Eagles and the Giants, are going to do well. The Commanders are a toss-up here. We don't know which way. Then you have the Chargers. So I think they're going to win against the Chargers. Like I said, the Chargers, I think, don't necessarily mesh well or something. There's something off with the Chargers. Like, the Chargers are like, oh yeah, they're okay type of team. I think they're going to win against Chargers. Then they go to the Raiders. Then they're going to win against Raiders. I'm not really sure how many wins the Raiders are going to have this year. Obviously we know that the Raiders are probably going to win. They are the now current home team. I will cheer for the Raiders. At the end of the day, I am still cheering for the Eagles. I am still an Eagles fan, but who knows? I think they're going to win against Raiders. Then you go to Buffalo. So then the Jets go to Buffalo. I think they're going to win the second game against Buffalo. I think they're going to really give Aaron Rodgers going to give Josh Allen now at this point a run for his money. I think the team is going to be able to get along very well together at this point, and I really think that they're going to win. Okay. Then the Jets go to host the Dolphins. I think they're going to lose this one. I think this is it's the one or the other situation, and I think they're going to lose this one against the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are a good team. They are possibly a really good team, so we will see. Then the Jets will host the Falcons. I think they're going to win. I think the Falcons are okay. I don't think they're great. I don't think they're crap. I think they definitely have a good chance for that. Then you have the Texans. So the Jets are hosting the Texans. I think they're going to win. Texans, maybe a week next year. They did take, they have their, CJ Stroud is the one they took, and then they took the third position too in the draft. Who knows exactly how he's going to pan out, though? We're never really sure. Then the Jets go to the Dolphins. I think they're going to win the second game. Like I said, I think it's going to be either or. I think that they chance to lose first and win the second. Then they go the Commanders. They host next. I think they're going to win. I think they're definitely going to win against the Commanders. If they don't, I'm going to be kind of surprised. But you could be able to tell as the season's going on. But at this point, I really think that they're going to win. Then the Jets are going to the Browns. I think they're going to win against the Browns. Cleveland Browns. We think the Jets are going to win or lose. I really think they're going to probably win this game. And then the Jets go to the Patriots. Like I said, Mac Jones. I don't think Mac Jones is bad. Personally, I just think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to beat Mac Jones. So that's it. That is your AFC East. Basically, that would be the Jets would have 11 wins. So if I was to put it into my own total, I think personally Miami has a chance to win the AFC East. Now, I still think that the Kansas City Chiefs are probably going to be the number one seed again in the AFC. Shucks. I think if anybody's going to knock out the Kansas City Chiefs, it's going to be someone in the playoffs. I personally think that they're going to be number one seed again. Patrick Mahomes is truly a beast. Even if he doesn't hit the exact same numbers as this year, he had between rushing and passing yards last year, 5,600. How do you compete with that? If everybody remains healthy in their team, oh my God, I don't know how you can compete with that. But I think that Miami could possibly take that number 2 seed with 12 wins. I personally think that it's going to be Buffalo, then the Jets, and then Patriots. Please let me know what you think down below. Would love it if you subscribe, comment, everything like that. And I really appreciate everything. So ta-ta for now.